Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films.
Holy shit. A pause. It just bounced away from you there. Right. Start again. Your thing just switched. I was like, what? Right. Start again, okay?
Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films.
And this is a picture of Nazarinprod. Because we've had some technical problems the last half hour. So you don't get me this week. You get a picture of me. Um with one eye because I like that kind of thing.
Fair
It's a good
enough.
start. This is episode one, and we're gonna have a channel, and it's going to be. I've already set it up, so I'll upload that to that channel. We'll just publicize it. Is that okay with you?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I should have said that before we started, but
that's okay.
uh, yeah. So we're going to start talking about Decalogue, which Roden here has the boxes to show us.
Yes, this is the Region A Criterion edition of Decalogue, which has um, also a short film about love and a short film about killing, also on Blu-ray. And this is the Arrow Academy Region B edition, which I have to say is probably the better edition, just because it has lots of Kieślowski's earlier documentaries. It has a 78-minute appreciation by Tony Raines, and there's also, well, both of them have really nice booklets, but the Arrow Academy edition is really good.
So yeah. So there are two editions. I've only got one because I'm a lightweight. Like,
Yeah, I'm just sad, so I got the Region A one as well. So
but then again, I just bought the DVD of Rashomon from Criterion, even though I've got the Blu-ray here. So I have
fair.
one waves of sadness. It's like we've all got our bit places where we can. I want that extra, so I'm going to spend money on it. So
Yes,
there we go.
I would say even though I think the box set's out of print now, Arrow have re-released a kind of slimmer down version of Decalogue as well, so that's available too.
The ones who didn't rush out and spend a fortune on it.
Yes,
Yeah, like us who went crazy and bought the
yes, I
full
think I
thing.
had an instant pre-order for that one.
Yeah, I had it in the Artificial Eye, the DVDs they had before. Was it Artificial Eye? I had them before.
Yeah, I had the VHS ones as well, which were like the double boxes.
Oh yeah, I
So
saw
I've had
them.
it in VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. So
Yeah, I've had lots of films like that. It's like
yeah,
it's embarrassing how much. Um, I didn't even know they were on VHS. I just thought they came out.
yeah, there were those double packets for episodes 1 to 5 and then 6 to 10.
Oh right, I was
Took up half a
unaware.
shelf.
Even like the DVDs were felt pretty big when you got them. It was like
Yeah,
this accomplishment. I've got this massive thing, and now the
so
blue.
I've got a feeling that I saw maybe a couple of episodes when the BBC showed it, but it was a long time ago, and I wasn't really. I also didn't know who Shizlowski was or whatever. But I
Yeah,
think I remember seeing episode 5, which would turn into a short film about killing, and maybe episode 6 as well. But the
yeah,
BBC changed the titles and messed about with them.
yeah. He was a guy that Pulp Fiction beat for the Palme d'Or pretty much for a while. Really fun.
Yeah.
We tell you actually watch the films, and then you think, how could Pulp Fiction beat the Palme d'Or?
Yes, because I remember a woman coming screaming from the audience, shouting obscenities at the panel because Shizlowski didn't win.
Yeah, that's passionate. It's really
Yeah,
passionate. It's like you got
no,
to admire the
I totally
passion.
understand now.
Yeah, yeah. But what do you expect from the Palme d'Or? A lot of
Yeah.
time they get it wrong. Then once in a while they get it right. Just like anyone else.
So I'll maybe just give an overview of kind of the history of Decalogue.
Okay, you do that since I don't know anything.
It was just it's the begin. Well, Shizlowski obviously did his earlier dramatic films after his documentaries, and one of them was No End, which is about the ghost of a lawyer, and his co-writer was Krzysztof Kieślowski, which I've completely butchered his name, who was a lawyer, and
You can
he
watch this
introduced
film and see the
yes,
spelling of it.
proper spelling.
Yeah.
And he was a lawyer who suggested to Kieślowski to film his court case, and then they developed a relationship. So it was actually his idea to say to Kieślowski, you should do a film about the Ten Commandments, which Kieślowski thought was a terrible idea. But Kieślowski was kind of in charge of Tor TV studios at the time. So they were originally going to farm out the 10 episodes to 10 young Polish directors. But that kind of changed as the project went on, and Kieślowski essentially took it over to do it himself. So that's kind of a short background of it.
Yeah. We should point out that you're much more the expert about Kieślowski than I am. You've read up on it a lot more than me. I seem to know a lot of people who know about this stuff. I have a friend Gavin who also knows all of it, and I'm kind of like the one who goes, yes, I enjoy the films.
I wouldn't say an expert, but
you know a lot more than I do.
Yeah, certainly. He's an important filmmaker to me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the background.
Yeah, because I've got my obsessions and you've got yours. The people you've been obsessed about, I can tell you way too much about Kubrick than you ever want to know.
Yes, quite possibly.
Yeah. Like, I'm the guy who buys the Kubrick books and seems a bit weird looking, obsessive.
So, will we say there'll probably be spoilers? Is that fair?
Oh yeah, there has to be. I mean, I don't think there's any point in not doing spoilers.
Yeah. So again, if you haven't watched these episodes of Decalogue, again, each episode's under an hour, so it means if you have the set, you can just watch the episodes as we go if you haven't seen it before, and then come back and check out the video to see what you think.
So, we're going to start with episode 1. Now, the episode 1 is it's a wonderful story, but we're going to have to go into spoilers here because you can't really talk about it without talking about the full thing. And it's a father and son story. I mean, most of Kieślowski, these stories, I find to be pretty simple stories, and it's all about the characters and how the complications of the characters make it more interesting. But they're very simple setups, and then it's just the details. This one, it's about a father and son, and they are interested. The father's very much a mathematical genius who's fascinated by computers. The son looks up to him, and he's really into, or his father's into, he's interested in that world as well. And he also is a child, so he wants to skate on ice. Because it's a childish thing, he loves ice, he wants to go skating on the ice, and he's waiting for the river to ice over enough so that he can go skating on the ice there. And his father's trying to be careful and make sure it's safe enough by doing calculations. Unfortunately, it shows human error where he doesn't calculate the idea of someone sitting at the side of the river with a fire to keep warm. And unfortunately, when the sun goes on the ice breaks and his son drowns. It's sort of the tragedy of a man who was trying to control the world, and the world got the better of him, and him trying to accept that. Is that a good enough a description of it?
Yeah, I would say obviously these films are loosely based on the Ten Commandments, so if people haven't seen them and they think, oh no, these are going to be preachy and they're films about the Ten Commandments, it's really just a jumping off point. So this one is loosely based on thou shalt not worship gods other than me. So it's essentially about technology and science, and the father's sister is also the religious one and believes in faith. So it's really just Pavel, the little boy, with these two kind of worlds and two kind of explanations of things.
Yes, and he's stuck between those both worlds. The way a child will see different people who influence them in different ways, and both kind of are influenced somewhere, but he's got his own wants as well. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
And his dad's almost too much into the world of science, so he's not really engaging in the other side of his personality.
Yeah, as the aunt says, the father wants to kind of quantify everything, and everything is explained. And even when Pavel sees a dead dog and asks his dad, how do we die and what happens when we die, obviously his dad is very analytical about it and the physiology of the heart and the brain, whereas his aunt, again, believes in, obviously, heaven and an afterlife.
Yes, and well, there is a kind of clash of both things. It's a good-natured clash. It's just like
there's no feeling of my belief's better than the other belief.
Yeah, they worked it out between them, like what they both believe in, and it's like they're both influencing the kid. The kid gets lots of influences.
Yeah, and it's a great performance by the little boy, because he just has this kind of wide-eyed enthusiasm and kind of thirst for knowledge, and it's just a great performance by him.
Yeah, I think we're describing this, but I think the one thing this film is important is it's not intellectual in a way that how it tells it. It's very moving, it's very human, it's little details, and then you build up what the Kieślowski means as it moves on. It's not like he's trying to say this scene means this scene means that. He just builds up the little details and you fill it in yourself.
Yeah, Kieślowski's not heavy-handed. He's very subtle. You could argue some of his imagery might, or some of his metaphors might not be, but his films in general are subtle and slow burns.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, for people who haven't seen it, is this is not like a film that will keep you at distance. It's very human. You will be engaged by it. The characters are very human, even though the father's very didactic to what you think the world is. He's a very human character, he's a very kind character. He is doing his best. It's very moving seeing their relationship, because it's obvious he loves his son. He's really attached to his son.
There's a great scene where they're in a chess kind of tournament with a woman who's going around lots of people playing chess, and that scene's just wonderful in the relationship between the father and the son. There's a real joy there.
Yeah, and there's also there's wonderful scenes with the aunt, with the little boy, showing her, just encouraging him. And it's really beautiful how it's done, because it's obviously he adores his aunt and she's really helping him out, and it's a different relationship. And that becomes very important to the film, and it doesn't try and skirt around it. It's like, no, this is really important to the growth of the child. And they don't actually, even though the child dies, they're not set up as a child is going to die. It's not going to be, not overblown. It's just, this is a child's life as he's going through his life. Then sort of tragedy hits and he's gone. And when he actually dies, you feel the missing presence, because they really set him up for the first half of it.
Because I was going to say, I don't have kids. I'm not going to have kids. I'm not the biggest fan of kids. But when Pavel dies, it's rough. And it's just so beautifully done with kind of assembled crowd, kind of all falling to their knees, and kind of the aunt just kind of falling down her brother's back. It's just it's really well done.
It's also the fact that the father is actually, he's searching for the kid. He first doesn't think it's anything. He just thinks the kid's away at his class or something. And as tragedy's happening behind him, he's not linking it to the child. And it just slowly builds up the tension. And you're watching, feeling the worst has happened. But there's a great bit where the ink explodes in his, when he's been writing something. And it's a great moment of, this is an omen of something bad, but he doesn't recognise it.
Yeah, I mean, you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach during those scenes. It's very much like Diabolique, the last kind of 10 minutes, even though you've seen it before, you still get that feeling. And it's really just beautifully done.
It feels like very Tarkovsky-ish as well to me, the way it's distant, but it's emotional. It's not...
Yeah.
There's something going on, but you can't articulate what exactly it is. There's something in the air, there's something just wrong. And even it's not enough for him to notice it, but as to watch the Rise in Panic, you see how it's really affecting him. So it becomes very moving. The thing is, I don't have kids, but I've got a nephew who's about the age of Pavel was in this film. So I just couldn't imagine that kind of thing happening because I've got a good relationship with him. Also, what the aunt has to the kid. And it's just devastating just watching just the loss of this presence in their lives that really keeps them engaged with the world. So it's not just him dying, it's like their engagement has sort of been deeply damaged by what's happened.
Yeah. Just like a quick word about the music by Zbigniew Preisner, who would then go on and do all of Kieślowski's remaining films, and also he composed Requiem for My Friend when Kieślowski died, which was performed for the Warsaw Philharmonic, which is available on CD, even though it's not a very easy listen. The music is just beautiful, it's simple, but it's just really... It's just wonderfully done.
Yeah, because you notice the music, but you don't notice it intellectually. It's just in the film. You're not like going, "Oh, that's amazing music." It's just like it feels part of the film. It's nothing. It's not like
it's not showy.
A lot of films, sometimes you're watching a film and the beat just pulls you out, and you're like, It's you don't have that. It just feels part of the film. That they've really put the work in to make the music connected. Which I think it works also because they're using music to actually help the storytelling and keep the story still and simple, so that it's just the details of the characters. But also the thing is, the cinematography is great because the atmosphere is so right without being overbearing.
That's also an interesting thing that Kieślowski used 9 different cinematographers for the 10 episodes. One cinematographer did 2 episodes. So there is a continuity, even though they're different DPs.
Yeah, because you've got pretty much the same location as one big building. So it's the same, but how it's shot is always slightly different. So I think it's a good way for Kieślowski to actually make sure he's not in the same rut of repeating the same thing again and again.
And as we'll see in later episodes, there is one that's shot rather dramatically differently, but actually adds to the story of it. As you say, it's the start of this idea of it's a living community. Throughout the series, characters will appear in other episodes, so you do feel it is a living, breathing community rather than this is just a film set.
Yeah, because the thing with State is, I think you've seen these a lot more than I have. I saw them once in DVD 10 years ago, and as I'm watching them again for this, I'm only watching them the 2 episodes at a time for the film, and I'm not reading up on them so that I'm just having a reaction to them so that you can fill in the details, because I think it's more interesting for someone to watch the video and you're going to get 2 different perspectives on it. That's one more study and one's more I'm just reacting, because I can remember bits from 10 years ago, but I don't remember every little detail.
So I'll try not to go too far ahead of myself.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I remembered episode 2 when I saw it. I remembered it really well. And episode 1 I kind of remembered, but I'm glad I didn't remember too many details because it's quite good to see it again. So,
I mean, some of the episodes obviously kind of jump out at you as a kind of instant reaction to them, and other episodes are more of a slow burn that as you do repeated viewings they get better.
I mean, I should say the first episode's pretty devastating. The first episode really
starts with a bang.
Yeah, even though it's very quiet the way it's done, it's just the story is so simple but so good and so connected to what can happen in a community. Because I think if you're in any community if someone dies, a child dies for any reason, like maybe cancer or something like that, it does have a strong effect on the community. Even if you didn't know the child yourself, it affects everybody. And this shows that.
Obviously, it does show that everybody knows everybody, it is a community.
Yeah.
Whereas, obviously, nowadays we're kind of distancing ourselves from communities almost. But you do get a real sense that it is a community in that housing estate.
Even though it's not a close community, it's just people who know each other because they see each other. But it's still the impact of they know each other, even though they don't know each other that well. They know there's still a devastating effect. And then it's also the parents who are wondering where their kids are and they're looking for them. Eventually, they find them. That not everyone died. It was just 2 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the effect on the parents whose children were lost and they were actually okay. And the panic they had as well, which gives it a bit more nuance rather than just being one thing, just like their children. It's like, no, some survived and it was different for them.
Yes, it's an excellent way to start a series.
Yeah. But it's also the false god thing is like, it's quite good because computers are important to people's lives, but they're just they're just objects, they're just useful calculators, basically. They're very helpful for humanity, but there's no soul to them.
Yes. There is almost a science fiction moment when it appears as though the computer might have turned itself on. It's quite funny because Pavel denies switching it on, and it's just and then it just comes up with "Are you ready?" which is just...
Yeah, but computers can be weird. There's also something every so often they do something weird. You're like, what was that about? But that's supernatural. It just feels a bit more something going through. I think because I'm not religious, some of that can be too much for me. But they're never pushed over the line.
No.
But you can see a hack director pushing over the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it pulls it back. It's like you accept that you don't. It's not the most important thing. It's how the characters react.
Yeah.
I think the father at the church at the end is a pretty devastating scene.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. Beautiful shot.
Yeah. It's one of the bits I did remember from seeing it 10 years ago. It was like, as soon as they got to there, I know what's going to happen now because I remembered it from then.
Yeah.
And it really was. It's one of those ones that are hard to describe because it's so emotional, but the camera work is not flashy at all. It's just pretty much the actor. Let the actor do their thing in this moment.
And I think that kind of sums up the whole series. It's really just it's understated, but still powerful.
You can see someone directing it. You can see the direction every moment, but it's not like moving in, moving out stuff. It's just the camera work's there to match the motion of the character, and it's all been planned out, but there's still sort of life to it. I think Kieślowski gives the actor space to work to a pre-arranged destination with the actor, but he gives them space to try and do their thing, and so it's kind of respectful of direction. I've no idea. Do you know what Kieślowski is meant to be like as a director? Because I have no clue.
I think he was fairly collaborative. I don't think he was a tyrant. One of the great things about him was the fact that he considered himself to be average, which obviously he's not. He was a born pessimist, or a realist, as I like to call him.
Well, he was Polish, for God's sake.
Yeah, he was Polish. I think one thing that should also be said, obviously it's 1988 that this was made, so it was still under communist rule, and Kieślowski kind of made a point of not making it political, or not kind of showing overtly political things, but he just wanted to kind of show the conditions, the way the characters act as a result of the politics rather than being overtly political in the films.
Yeah, you can see its influence because I was watching Chernobyl recently, and it felt people who had made that obviously saw Decalogue.
Yeah.
You just felt influenced by the way it was shot and the style of it. Felt very influenced. really, just because it was almost like they looked at that. That's how people there lived, you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously his earlier work was a bit more overtly political and all these documentaries, but as he progressed in his career, he was perhaps less overtly political in his films and more personal.
Yeah, it feels very personal, but it doesn't feel like it's autobiography. It just feels personal, like I'm interested in this, and
it's more intimate as far as the characters.
Yes, and it feels like it's sort of like people he's known in his life. He's sort of he's working on people. The type of person he's known in his life. You feel he's probably knew someone like this computer guy. That's probably a part of society that's in Poland that we don't get to see in the West because we all just think communism is just one big blanket and there's no nuance to it. It's something like that. Because we just like to see things in stereotypes rather than lots of people everywhere, and they have lots of interests, and people have divorces behind the Iron Curtain as well. People have dysfunction and children, and
there's been plenty of cliche views of communism in films, but Kieślowski's not about that really.
No, that's what jumped out. I remember feeling that way when I saw it first time as well. I was like, this doesn't feel like you're watching like cartoons talk to each other in weird accents. It felt much more like, oh, I'm seeing a person, I can relate to this, because people in Scotland feel very similar, very much working class, run by institutions. Like half the stuff doesn't work, half the stuff's crumbling away. You know, go to Glasgow, you can see Poland in the 80s.
Yes. So, do you have anything more to say about Decalogue 1 apart from go watch it because it's fantastic?
Not really. I just was very impressed by it. It's a very emotional film. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those films that are just really powerful and beautifully done, and it does have an emotional wallop at the end. Even though as this kind of sense of dread is growing, so you kind of know it's not going to end well, but and the last images are quite beautiful.
Yeah. I also forgot to say the thing about the guy at the side of the river with the fire, that's so weirdly ominous, but you don't know why throughout until his meaning becomes really obvious what is important. But you just every time you see him, you just say, this is not good. Something's wrong here, but I don't know what.
And there's also a shot where he pretty much stares at the camera as well. And it's, again, with the music, it's just it's quite beautiful.
Yeah. So that was Decalogue 1.
So Decalogue episode 2. If you need any evidence that the Ten Commandments isn't a rigid structure, this one is don't take the Lord's name in vain, which doesn't really kind of fit with the story. Again, as with episode 1, it's a fairly simple setup. It involves a woman whose husband is dying in hospital, and the doctor who is treating him, and her kind of moral dilemma is she is pregnant. She's getting on in years, so this might be her last chance to have a child, but she's not pregnant by her husband, she's pregnant by her lover, and she essentially keeps badgering the doctor to tell her whether her husband is going to die or not, because if he's going to die, she's going to have the child, and if he doesn't die, she's going to have an abortion and pretty much end her chances of having a child. The doctor himself has a past and a story too. He lost his wife and child during the war, so he carries a kind of burden with him as well. And as the story progresses, it's just the kind of constant badgering of the Doctor until he makes a decision. So that's kind of the overview.
Yep. I just knocked my microphone.
Okay.
Oh well. So yeah, that's what I really liked. We're talking before we started again, and we're saying that you saw this straight on after the first one,
Yes.
which would be a mistake. Because I took a break between both of them, because the first one was kind of devastating. So I thought I'm going to just not go straight into the second
Yes.
one. And
You're kind of still recovering from the first one when you're watching the second one.
yeah, but this one I did remember a lot from the first time I saw it, because it was just something the story just stuck in my head. It was just thought it was a really moving story. It doesn't have a dead child, but it's almost like it has the chance of a dead fetus. So it's like
Yes.
that's kind of weird link to it. But I have to say, I quite liked how grumpy both the main characters were. Like, at one point, you find out that she'd accidentally ran down a dog about a year ago, and he's annoying her, so she says, "It's a pity I didn't run you down."
Yes.
I know, I thought it was so good. It was like, I like these characters. These are just grumps. So even though they're grumpy, it makes you like them more because it's more realistic.
Yeah, there's a reality to it.
Yeah. And I like the fact that she was pretty selfish a lot of the time, but didn't take away from her humanity. It was just like she was reacting to a stressful situation.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes it really work for me. Is like, it's much more like, this is what this kind of situation would be, rather than something that is someone crying all the time. It's much more stress involved.
Yeah, and how she deals with somebody who brings her husband stuff from like the climbing club, because I think they're both climbers.
Yeah.
She pretty much tells him to where to go with his stuff.
Yeah. That's perfect, because that's just where people react. I mean, that's. And in a lot of films, you don't get that. It's just like someone acting like a wallflower or something. It's not interesting. This is much more like, this is the way people I know would react, rather than the Hollywood version. And it makes it more moving, because you realise her situation, there's no easy answer.
No.
And she knows there's no answer, and even her responses to anything are like half thought through at best, because she's panicking and she doesn't want to admit that she's panicking.
Yes, and she's essentially asking the Doctor to play God, if you will, and pretty much decide whether her husband's going to live or die.
Yeah, that's kind of that's never a good situation to be in if I get a doctor. I mean,
and again, sorry,
because he's probably dealing with this all the time. People ask them for information, but this one kind of hits him home because it's near where he lives as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kieślowski, one of his early documentaries was literally just called Hospital, and in this hospital, there's this constant dripping, there's leaks everywhere, there's paint, peeling off. Again, like I was saying earlier, it's not overtly political, but he's obviously showing conditions in hospitals.
David Lynch would love this film.
Yeah.
Oh, way up his alley.
And again, there's like a nice moment with a fly trying to get out of, I think it's jam or something, and
that was
struggle. And again, just this constant dripping on our dying husband's end of his bed. It's just, again, wonderful.
Yeah, the husband is so gone, and he always knows there's something going on. He knows there's something wrong. He doesn't quite know what it is with his wife, but he knows there's something's up. You can just tell with his reaction. He doesn't want to speak to her, but he doesn't want to tell her to go away either. And he's dying, so that makes him very sympathetic, but very human as well.
Yeah. I don't think we necessarily need to mention spoilers in this one, but
I think we should just
the Doctor makes a decision.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
Yeah. That's probably right. He makes a decision one way or the other, and it is a very complicated decision, and you really feel for the Doctor, even though he's wonderfully a grump, but he's doing this all the time, and it's his way of being human is actually not to give false hope, because that can be disastrous too for someone if they think it's going to go fine and it doesn't. That destroys them.
And do you notice who the orderly was in the hospital when they're doing the lab tests?
No.
Because there's an orderly who is the same actor who was by the campfire in episode 1.
I never noticed that.
And he kind of appears quite often during Decalogue. His significance is never been discussed. Kieślowski never kind of said who he was or what his function is, apart from maybe just bearing witness, because he's always kind of around the action, but never actually speaks.
So he's not God then?
No.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
Yeah. He's just a guy judging everybody.
Yeah.
Silently.
He's generally always there when people are thinking about making decisions or...
Yes. Yeah. This had been Mendes' film, he'd been black and white and everyone winked when out of him.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I never noticed that was him. I was so involved with the drama that I just never paid attention to all that. The funny thing, I was watching this, I was thinking they ripped this off for the Suspiria remake, where the whole thing of there's a character in Suspiria remake is just like the Doctor in this, and the backstory and everything, the style of it, and it's like. And as soon as I saw it, because I remember watching the Suspiria remake and thinking, I've seen this somewhere before, and then I watched this again, and I was like, they just ripped that whole thing off from Decalogue. The whole story is pretty much very similar.
Kieślowski's never really talked about as somebody who's influenced people, but I think he has. Maybe not explicitly or whatever, but I think there's a certain vibe to his films, certainly his later work, that people have kind of been influenced by.
Yeah, because there's certain kind of directors like him, there's Tarkovsky before him, then you've got Sokurov after them as well, which is very spear works as well. It's just like almost a tradition of types of European, probably Eastern European movies that are very different from what you normally get.
Yeah.
And just an approach to acting that's very minimal. But of course it's going to influence people, which is because a lot of people don't know Kieślowski, they wouldn't know that's where that came from, but obviously it came from somewhere.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the criticisms of him is he provides more questions than answers.
Why is that criticism?
He's kind of, he's kind of just searching for, big issues. And in life you don't get answers, so I'm not really sure why people get upset about not having things explained.
They want simplistic answers.
Yeah.
There's no... A simple, simplistic answer is something that can make them go to bed easily. A complicated situation makes it much more difficult to see, oh, that's right or that's wrong, because there's no right and wrong in this story. It's like a decision's made, but you can't say it's a right or wrong decision, and you can't say someone should be saved or damned for it. It's just like, it's a decision that's happened in life. You just get on with it. They have to live with it. That's what makes it interesting to me.
Because that's what this whole series is about. It's essentially moral dilemmas that don't have easy answers.
Well, that's just life, though.
That's why they're dilemmas.
Yeah. It's like there's no... I think in drama, especially, if it's trying to sell to a lot of people, they don't want things they can't give an answer to. They just don't want that. That makes it difficult to sell to people. They want something simple. They want something where there's... If it's a face-to-face drama, they want something that's easy to understand the end of. Like, this is what it means. This is like there's a speech at the end of the film that makes sense of it. And it's like, I always hate those things because I'm usually bored.
Yeah.
It's like, usually I think that means the director's just not confident in the material. Because a lot of time you pull back and let people fill in things, it's more interesting.
Yes. So do you want to mention the ending of the film and what happens to the husband, or will we let people watch it for themselves?
I say we can say spoilers here, and then we can discuss it. If you don't want to go any further, we've covered why you should see the film, and you can go beyond this point if you want. Is that good?
That's fair enough.
Yeah. So spoilers. Go see the film first, then come back after you've seen the film, because there's a couple of yeah, because you've done that before in some of your videos where you say spoilers, and I say, well, okay, I'm not going to watch any further than this because you've been doing the Chabrol season, and there's a couple of spoilers.
You need spoilers, unfortunately. But...
Yeah. And like me, I've got quite a lot of the films now from the Arrow collection. Like, and I need to go through them. It's just like I'm waiting for that urge to go through them.
Yeah.
I tend to go for directors and just suddenly flood through them, and that's me. So you want to explain what happens at the
end? Well, the husband recovers, and the doctor tells the woman he's going to die, and he recovers. But then the woman makes a decision as far as keeping the baby, despite it not being her husband's.
Yes. Which I thought was very satisfying because it was complicated and really... It was... I think it was the best possible ending. Like, no one gets an easy way out. Like, they'll have to deal with the ramifications, but...
Yes.
It's obvious they needed that baby. Both parties wanted a baby. It's just like, well, you just have to live it.
Yeah, because, I mean, usually... I would be kind of cynical about these things and say, don't have a baby, but in actual fact, you're right, it is a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
Even though it's complex.
Yeah, because I think if she needed that baby, it's obvious she wanted a baby. It was something that she was passionate about. It'd make her life better. So she should have had the baby. It's just like dealing with her flaws to her husband, basically. She has to confess to her husband some of her mistakes.
Yes.
And that's just life. People make mistakes. So it's not going to be easy, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah. I mean, so for me personally, it's maybe not one of the standout episodes, but it's still very, very good.
Yeah. The thing was, for me, I remembered it so well after 10 years. Obviously, there was something there that stuck with me because I remembered it a lot more than the one with the child, even though I remembered bits of the one with the child. This one, as soon as I started watching, I knew what the end was because I remembered it. It was like, and it's always been in my back of my head, so obviously it kind of clicked to me.
Because there's ones later on that I hadn't remembered as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be really interested in seeing the later one because there's stuff I remember, there's other ones. Obviously, there's the ones that were short film but love and short film but killing. I've seen both versions of those films, so they're harder to forget.
Yeah, that's the other episode 5 and 6.
Yeah, but the other ones, it's more. You remember bits of them, but that's quite good in a way because you can re-experience them.
Yeah,
I quite like that because when I was doing my Breast On series, I actually felt like I remembered a lot, but I didn't remember everything. It was quite good to actually re-experience certain things that you've forgotten. So it's something you could devastate again, even though you remember a lot about them, but still not everything.
Yeah, and I obviously just have to mention that it's great to have them in Blu-ray, because the DVDs and the VHSs were always a little dark, I found, whereas these have really been cleaned up, and Arrow and Criterion have done a great job.
They look great. I mean, when I started to see it, did feel very grimy, the artificial eye ones. It felt kind of like you could feel that they weren't as cleaned up as it could be, but then again, I also felt right for the world though, because it was a communist world where there's not much joy, so it's kind of. But if you see them compared to something like The Double Life of Veronique, which is much more visually sumptuous.
Yes.
And in a kind of very understated way, but it still. So I saw that in the cinema and it stuck in my head because it was a lot more colours and much more.
Yes.
There's a kind of almost supernatural feel to it. It's without being supernatural. It's just like.
Yeah, there's definitely a tone to Decalogue.
Yeah, which is really. So, what was your first Kieślowski film you saw, or first Kieślowski piece?
Well, like I said, I think early on a couple of Decalogue episodes, but I wasn't aware of who he was or whatever. So bizarrely, it's actually Three Colours Red because I saw that. I was a big fan of Pulp Fiction and was happy that Tarantino got the Palme d'Or because it was like an outsider getting the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
But then when I watched Three Colours Red, I was in total agreement with the woman screaming out in the audience. So yes, that's the last one of the trilogy, and then I just went back and pretty much tried to get as much of these films as possible.
I was kind of lucky. I saw two when I was a film student. I saw two of them at the local film society. The first one I saw was The Double Life of Veronique. That was the first one I saw, and then I think I saw Three Colours Blue. Oh, what was the Julie Delpy one? Is that blue?
That was white.
White, right? Oh, it's
Juliette Binoche.
Yeah. So I saw that one. I saw the Julie Delpy one because I was a big fan of Before Sunrise, and that kind of got me. Plus, I liked Double Life Veronique. So it was like I saw them, and then he didn't see any of his films for a long time because they were hard to get hold of. And then when they went on DVD, I started watching the Decalogue, then the full Four Colours trilogy. I think I may have even seen the Binoche one as well. Because the only one I hadn't actually seen, I think, was the Red final one. Is that right?
Aye, Jacob,
Yeah.
So, Red just blew me away.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of, you'd seen bits, but you hadn't seen them in any kind of order, any kind of real kind of cohesiveness until the DVD hit. Then you can actually start saying, oh, this is all connected and it makes sense. But it's very hard to remember everything because these are like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, so it's...
Yes. It's hard to believe that the Three Colours will be about 25 years old now.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Doesn't seem that long ago.
I know, because you see these actors and you think, I wonder what happened to them after that, and you realise it was like 30 years ago, and it's like, wow, that was a long time. They look so young and full of life, and some of them are probably dead by now, and other ones are probably very old. It's like, you see them in the full bloom of their lives. So I always find that weird about films, to suddenly realise these people are long dead sometimes.
Yes, but of course they live on forever.
I think they'd rather live on in real life. Some of them, you know. It's like, it's nice to have some films you made, but I guess also dying's not fun.
No, it's so bad.
It has its downsides.
Yes.
So that's Decalogue 1 and 2. Do you have anything else you want to say about Decalogue 2?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered it.
Yep. I think so too. I mean, the weird thing is, we've been talking for a while, and I realise there's a lot of stuff in these films you can't really describe. It's just the way they've been put together.
Yes.
And it's very hard to talk about. Some things, just the way they're put together as a director and the cinematography. You have to watch them, because even though we talk about how complicated they are, they're also very simple. They're not...
Yes.
They are like almost, the actual stories are like short stories. Like 10 short stories that you could be in a book, but it's the way they've been filmed, the way they've been produced, the way they've been acted.
Yes.
That gives bigger meaning to them all. So
they're just beautifully crafted.
Yep. Like someone cared about them, someone put them there and to actually care about these films and make the films something really special. That way you don't get a lot.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, originally they were going to give them to 10 separate directors, and then Kieślowski just get more and more obsessed with the actual stories and just ended up doing them himself, thankfully.
Yeah, but I think sometimes that happens. It's like, oh, this is not that important, and you start to see details in something you never quite saw originally. So, yeah, it is good to kind of focus that way. But I think it's also quite good, as you said, you had different cinematographers to make it feel different, so it's not exactly the same.
Plus again, sorry.
Because a lot of TV shows can feel very samey a lot of the time, like nothing's changed episode to episode, and it gets boring to watch.
Yeah.
So what are you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, and obviously again, it's just the start of his screenwriting collaborator and his composer that would pretty much go for the rest of his career.
So many films did they make after Decalogue?
It's just Double Life of Veronique and the Three Colours, so it's only 4 films.
Alright, so So because he did have a bunch of films before Decalogue, like Camera Buff.
Yes, he
and
had
that.
No End, Blind Chance, Camera Buff, and The Scar,
Yep.
and then his documentaries as well.
Yes.
Obviously, after the Pandora, he'd announced that he was retiring, and then just shortly before his death, he announced that he was going to do another trilogy of the Heaven, Hell, and Purgatory.
Yeah.
Which obviously would have been awesome.
They try to do versions which I've never watched. It's like
I think two of them were done. I think one of them was actually directed by Agnieszka Holland, who was obviously a contemporary of Kieślowski, based on his scripts. But again, I've never watched them.
I've heard he would have longer scripts and cut down to the essence as they went along and lose a lot. And I think they try to keep everything in with those, so they didn't quite have the power. But I think it's also the way you film stuff, the way you deal with actors that's so important in these films that make it they work. You can't really repeat that with different directors. This can't be done.
And obviously, also Kieślowski's death was pretty much the reason I stopped watching the Oscars as well, because you know how they have the obituary bit.
Yeah.
And I know it's a celebration more of American films, but they had the obituary bit, and Kieślowski was up for about 2 seconds. And personally, for me at the time, he was like the best director in the world. So that was kind of as if I wasn't going away from the Oscars anyway. That was kind of the final straw.
I'd gone for them well before that.
Yeah,
because of shit.
Yes. I think Kurosawa called himself congratulatory bullshit.
Yeah, they always choose the worst film ever. It's always like, I mean, they gave it to Forrest Gump for God's sake. I mean, that's a bad sign. That's a sign of no self-respect.
Yes.
And I actually just use a fluke to get something good. Just a total fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to do this. We haven't planned when we're doing the next two, which is a case of watching the next two, then planning when we're available and do them.
Yes.
But I think this went well, and hopefully we'll into when we're doing this a bit more. It's just this is our first time to try and do this, so I'm sure it'll be more awkward than it'll be.
Yes, bear with us.
Yeah. We need to get my picture up at some point, my imagery up, so you can see how much I fidget again.
Yes.
So this is good. This makes me look distinguished, this image I've got, because it makes me look like I don't fidget like crazy when I'm talking. So it makes me... Plus it looks like I'm a pirate. Like from
Maybe
James
next episode I'll have a drawing up.
No. I think it's better if my head, and I think I'll need some just like monster image next time. I'll put a Godzilla image up saying that's me.
Yes.
Just to be accurate.
But I think it's good to talk about 2 episodes at a time for Decalogue.
Yeah, because you said, it'll take about 10 minutes each, didn't you? Something like that.
Yes.
Have we been going for about an hour?
Yes, okay.
So, I pretty much knew that wouldn't happen once you start talking about some films. But yeah, it's because there's a lot to these films, even though they are an hour long. So, yeah, I think 2 at a time was good. So, so we're kind of starting with Decalogue. I think we're going to just continue with Decalogue for a bit. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then we'll go on to other films, because there's a whole Bergman box set.
Yes.
We're both being motivated to start watching.
Yes, I need a reason to start watching because my backlog's ridiculous at the moment.
Yeah, I've been watching Godzilla films for the last 2 weeks, so I need to do some classy stuff now. I'm off the Godzilla deep end a little bit.
Yes, it's easy done.
Yeah. So it was fun doing this. We're going to stop here, and please subscribe to our channel and send some feedback our way.
Leave comments below if you've seen Decalogue 1 and 2 and what you think.
Yep, and this is something I never do in my videos, ask for feedback, because I always forget. So I'm usually just, I've done the video, oh wow, I've done the video.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh yeah, I should put the feedback thing at the end. And I've been doing it for a year now. I've said it twice, I think. That's it. So, you do
thanks so much for watching.
Yep. And I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.